Mr. Chairman, Larry's trying to give you the,
Good evening in these extraordinary times. I'd like to welcome you to the December 24th meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals. First up, we have an adjournment. Appeal number 2019-49, Flying Point Associates. They've asked for an adjournment to October 22nd. Do we hear a motion?
so moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, Krista?
Appeal number 2020-28, Michael D'Elia, 2 Susan Drive, Wading River, tax map number 696-1-1.21, RB 80 zoning for variances and/or relief from chapter 301, section 31, where impervious surface coverage is 27.5% and maximum permitted is 15%.
All right, who's speaking? Unmute.
I am Amy DeVito from Woodhull Expediting.
Hold
for
on
the
now,
owner.
hold on. Just raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
State your name and your address.
Amy DeVito, Woodhull Expediting, 1031 Main Street, Port Jefferson, New York, 11777.
You have the floor.
Hi, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. Hope everybody's okay. My client is proposing to do a addition to his garage, which will be approximately 192 square feet. And with that, in combination with the other impervious surfaces on his property, he is going to be at 27.5% for the impervious surface coverage. So we're here today requesting relief for that. We did find some similar applications in the area, whereas impervious surface relief was granted. I could share with the board which cases those are if you're interested. I also have some photos of the property that I could show the board. If you want to see those, I can hold them up to the screen. And I'm happy to answer any questions the board may have.
Well, I believe all the board members have gone to the site, and I don't think there are any objections on the board. Let's see if any neighbors have anything to say.
Okay.
Anybody wants to talk, anyone who wants to speak, just unmute. Hit your unmute button, please.
Does anybody want to speak on this matter?
Raise your hand, please.
Okay, nobody wants to speak, I guess.
Okay. We'll get the reading.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the appeal of Michael D'Elia, 2 Susan Drive, Wading River, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 96-1-1.21, which is located in the RBA zoning district, for variances and relief from Chapter 301, Section 31, where impervious surface coverage is 27.5%, and the maximum permitted is 15%, be approved, in accordance with the application and sketches with amendments thereto, if any, as filed with the building inspector.
Second.
Mr. Seabrook.
Aye.
Mr. Guzzo.
Aye.
Mr. Barnes.
Aye.
Mr. Whitmire.
Aye.
And I vote aye. So your appeal has been granted, and being an expediter, I'm sure you know the process from now on.
Yes. And I'm also on the next case, just so you guys know.
Appeal number 2020-29, Edward Murphy, 20 Hickory Court, Wading River, tax map number 636-2-9.4, RB 80 zoning, for variances and/or relief from Chapter 301, Section 31, where proposed side yard setback is 3.2 feet and minimum required for accessory structures is 25 feet, and where rear yard setback is 11.1 feet and minimum required for accessory structures is 20 feet.
All right, you're speaking on this again, Mr. Vito?
I am.
Again, raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
State your name and your address.
Amy DeVito, Woodhull Expediting, with offices at 1031 Main Street, Port Jefferson, New York, 11777.
You have the floor.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, good evening again. My client began actually building this detached garage without a permit, unfortunately. And we are here today requesting relief for said structure. It is located too close to the rear and side property line. There is some topography on the property, which is why the particular location was chosen for the garage. Otherwise, they would have set it back a little bit further away from the side property lines. If you look at the aerials, I don't know if you guys have access to the aerials where you're sitting, but if you look at the aerials, you could see that the particular location where the garage is not impeding on anybody's, any view, any relevant view. It's actually set quite far away from, the surrounding houses, as the property is on a cul-de-sac, and the neighborhood is actually not your, standard kind of, row of houses. I do have some photos here to show the board, if you'd wish to see them, of the garage and the property in general. And we did find some grants that were similar, but to be perfectly honest, not quite as close to the property line as what we're proposing or legalizing today. These garage will be used for storage. My client has a very meticulously neat property, and this garage will provide the storage space that he requires for garden tools, household items such as decorations and things like that, lawnmower equipment, and et cetera. And I'm happy to answer any questions the board may have.
Why did he start it without a permit?
I couldn't answer that question. It wasn't me personally. But I would surmise that he probably, perhaps didn't realize he needed to get a permit, or he
Please.
perhaps wanted to get it done quickly. I'm not really sure. I can't answer that question.
Mr. Vito, is this a two-story garage, or?
Well, I guess you could consider it a 1.5 story. It's a ground level, garage, obviously, with the normal, it will have barn doors in the front. And, the second floor is a walk-up loft. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see this, but this is the first floor. Okay, so it has a poured concrete floor. The garage is only partially built at this point. And this is the, garage with a tarp on it. I couldn't actually get up to that story, to take a photo, but on the plans, it's shown as just a walk-up loft for storage only. It will be unfinished. And let me see if I can show you that. So this is just kind of like an elevation of the inside, where you would walk up to the top.
The other question, is there a driveway gonna be produced for this garage? Mr. Vito?
To my knowledge, no. There's no driveway being proposed. It's not gonna be used necessarily for car storage. It's more like a glorified shed. So it's gonna be used for storage of lawn equipment and things like that. The driveway on the survey does end on that side of the property, just at the edge of where the house ends. But my client has not suggested or mentioned that a driveway would extend to the property, to the garage, or the shed.
Thank you.
Do you have a front elevation of the garage?
Yeah, the elevation from the plans?
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Yes, I do.
And while you're finding that, did you have a discussion with the building inspector? When the plans were submitted?
The building inspector was at the home to issue the stop work order, and his name escapes me. It was Michael, I believe it started with an S, his last name. Actually, just saw that in the file. Mark Visekis. Mark Visekis was at the house. Many months ago. This was pre-pandemic, and he was the one who, notified the owner that a permit was required. But there has been no formal inspections because the permit hasn't been issued yet, because we had to go through the zoning board process. So here's the elevation.
Okay.
Can you see it?
Yes, very nice. Is there electric proposed to the garage?
Yes, for lighting.
Do you know what they're gonna run out there?
I don't.
Does he
I
plan on
couldn't-
putting a sub panel in?
I'm actually not sure how the electric's getting there. I could find that out and provide that information to Carissa. I could call the contractor.
Right, I'd like to know that.
Okay,
I wanna know if they're gonna put a sub panel in, and then run electric from that, or they're gonna try to add another meter to it.
okay. Okay, I'll find that out.
Okay.
All right, is anyone, to be heard on this? Just unmute and come on board. Anyone to be heard on this? Last time, anyone to be heard on this matter? Okay, let's have an adjournment to the next meeting. I move to adjourn, well, who's got this with reading anyway?
I do.
Okay, moving on to the next meeting.
All right. Mr. Chairman, I respectfully move appeal number 2020-029 to October
8.
8th for adjournment.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be here on October 8th. I'm actually gonna be away. I'm leaving that morning. Would it be possible for me to provide testimony in advance with reference to the questions the board had, or can we adjourn it to the next date?
Adjourn it
We'll
to
do it to the next date.
Okay,
22nd.
okay, perfect.
Okay.
Carissa, also part of the record, I'd like to see the building department file and what the application shows, an electrical application for a permit on that. I wanna know who the electrician is.
Okay,
I don't know if they ran electric yet.
No, but I wanna know who it's gonna be.
Oh, okay. I'm not entirely sure that we provided all that information yet, so,
You need
I'll
to.
look at you. And Carissa, I'll talk to you further.
Well, we're gonna need to know who it is and how it's gonna be done.
Okay, I'll find out who it is as well.
Thank you.
If you didn't already provide that information, I'm not sure, I
Okay.
can't remember.
all right, Alan, you'll move this to the 22nd then.
Right.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Thank
to
you.
Be corrected.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Good night.
Adjourn appeal number 2020-029 to October 22nd.
Second.
Mr. Gazillo.
Aye.
Mr. Bonds.
Aye.
Mr. Whitmire.
Aye.
Mr. Seabrook.
Aye.
And I vote aye. All right, there, young lady.
Appeal number 2020-31, Chorus Nickens, 98 Nadell Drive, Riverhead, tax map number 683-222, RA 40 zoning, for variances and or relief from chapter 301, section 11, where proposed garage setback is 3 feet from rear and side property lines, and minimum required for accessory structures is 20 feet, and where proposed impervious surface coverage is 46.6%, and maximum permitted is 15%.
All right, who's gonna be heard on this one? Top left? Do you unmute do you unmute it? Can you hear us? We can't hear you. Unmute it.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I affirm.
Okay. State your name and your address.
Chorus Nickens, 98 Nato Drive, Riverhead, New York.
Okay, you have the floor. Let's hear what you want. What would you like to do?
Want to build a detached, two-car detached garage. You-
Have you talked to your neighbors about this?
Yes,
How do they feel?
they don't mind at all.
Okay.
Right. I told them about it some time ago, months ago, several months ago. And, one didn't get the receipt, he didn't get the certified mail letter, or he said he wasn't available, he wasn't home when it arrived, but, he sent me a message, and, I made a copy of it, and I submitted it to Carissa. So Carissa,
Okay.
you should have that. It's Anthony Giordano at, 104 Nato Drive.
Okay. All right, is there anyone else to be heard on this matter? Just unmute.
Is there anyone else? I'm sorry.
Anyone else to be heard?
Who else? I'm sorry.
There's nobody.
Can you repeat that again?
Is there anyone else to be heard on this matter?
Oh,
Does anybody wanna speak?
oh.
Nobody else? Okay, any of the board members have a problem?
Nope.
Okay, let's have a reading.
Mr. Chairman, I move that appeal of Corus Nickens, 98 Nadell Drive, Riverhead, Suffolk County Tax Map number 600-83-2-22, RA40 zoning for variances and/or relief from Chapter 301, Section 11, where proposed garage setback is 3 feet from rear and side property lines, and minimum required for accessory structures is 20 feet, and where proposed impervious surface coverage is 46.6%, and maximum permitted is 15%, be granted in accordance with the applications and sketches with amendments thereto, if any, as filed with the building inspector.
Second?
Okay. Mr. Gazillo?
Aye.
Mr. Vaughn?
Aye.
Mr. Seabrook?
Aye.
Mr. Whitmire?
Aye.
And I vote aye. So good luck with your garage, and we'll be talking to you. Take care.
Okay, thanks.
Have fun.
Have a great night.
Thanks.
Appeal number 2020-35, Emmanuel Papadopoulos, 4 Nautical Drive, Riverhead, tax map number 600-14123, RA40 zoning, for variances and/or relief from Chapter 301, Section 11, where proposed rear yard setback is 26 feet, and minimum required is 60 feet, where proposed side yard abutting street is 21 feet, and minimum required is 50 feet, where proposed side yard is 12 feet, and minimum required is 25 feet, where proposed combined side yard is 33 feet, and minimum required is 55 feet, where proposed front yard setback is 20 feet, and minimum required is 50 feet, and where proposed impervious surface coverage is 37%, and maximum permitted is 15%.
All right, who's the applicant?
That would be me.
Okay, raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You state your name and your address.
My name is Eric Bjornaby, architect, 4250 Veterans Highway, Holbrook, New York, 11741, Suite 2040W.
You have the floor.
Good evening to the board. I'm here representing the owner of the property at 4 Oracle Drive in Riverhead. There is an old summer bungalow there that's approximately 576 square feet on the corner property. That is a 69 by 88 property on the corner, 6,072 square feet. It's in an A40 zone, 1 acre zoning, and the existing home is a small home with 2 small bedrooms, and has a front yard of 20.3, a side yard abutting a street of 21.4, a side yard of 18.1, and a rear yard of approximately 43 feet. We're proposing a new 2-story, 3-bedroom house, approximately 2,600 square feet, including a 1-car garage. It's approximately 36 by 40, with a front yard of 20 feet, which is pretty close to the existing of 20.3, a side yard of 21 abutting the street. The existing is 21.4, a side yard of 12, the existing is 18, and a total side yard of 33 feet for an existing, and the existing total is 39.5. The rear yard we're proposing is 26 feet, and the existing is 43. The A40 1-acre zoning does not fit the character of this area, and the properties around it are significantly less than that. So variances are required for anything that is done in this neighborhood. The proposed structure has very similar setbacks on the front and on the side abutting, and is not, the side yard and the rear yard are similar to the other houses that are on the street, further down the road and immediately around them. It is our belief that these variances are appropriate for the lot and fit into the character of the neighborhood.
Any board members have any questions?
Is there anybody else in the audience.
All right, if you have, let's see, who would like to speak?
I would.
Okay, just raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Just state your name and your address, please.
Susan Edwards, 37 Crow's Nest Drive, Riverhead, New York. My property is his rear property is adjacent to my property.
Okay,
I object to the size of this house. It's a two-story building. It encroaches on my privacy. I use the backyard where I can sun myself. This house is built, it encroaches on my privacy. I am a disabled person in a wheelchair. I'm paralyzed from the waist down, and there's only certain places where I can sit. It also encroaches on our privacy where they can look into my bedroom and they can look into the bathroom and also another bedroom.
okay.
As far as the size of this house, if you know the area, we're starting to look like Queens, New York. Reeves Park area has always been a predominantly summer residence. That house behind me was always a summer residence. Now the owner who bought the house has decided to leave this house to her two boys. Her children never ever come out to Riverhead. As far as I hear from other neighbors, he owns a boat. Now, what I'd like to know is where he's gonna put this boat on such a small property. And most of the areas have cars parked in the front of these homes. They don't have driveways. So when you try to drive down these roads, it's highly impossible. Now, if you were to drive down to Reeves Park and go up some of these streets, you would be amazed at what some of these homes look like. I'm surprised half of these homes were ever approved.
Okay.
I'm very disgusted. I didn't even get a certified mail. I found this, somebody gave me this in my mailbox. And I'm right on the property line.
I can't help you with that. All I know is they were supposed to mail them out certified.
Well, I know certain other people who didn't get a certified mail either.
Okay.
And I'd like to know where mine went since I'm right adjacent to the property.
That's it, right?
All right.
So, ma'am, you're on the property behind his, right?
Actually, yes.
Yeah, but so the side of
No,
your,
actually, he's behind me. My property faces the water. So if he puts a two-story house up, he's gonna be able to see the water.
Ma'am,
Which means he's also gonna be able to sit where my garage is, and my small deck is where I sit.
ma'am, on one side, I believe it's 8 Bells Road, that's the street. He doesn't, in other words, he borders on the street on one side.
That's correct.
Now, on the other side, isn't there a two-story house just next door to him also?
It's on Crow's Nest and 8 Bells. I'm on the corner.
No, I'm saying,
Directly
when you
behind
face,
me.
when you face his house, on to the left is a street. I think it's 8 Bells,
This is her backyard. Right,
is that correct?
I'm sorry?
When you face his house, or this proposed
Yes.
house, to the left is 8 Bells, and that's, so in other words, there's no neighbor on that side, correct? Now, on the other side, I guess that's also on Nautical Drive, isn't there a two-story house there already?
This is another house. Oh, right.
On the other, which side?
In other words, if you face this house, on the left, there's 8 Bells, correct?
Correct.
On the right, isn't there a two-story house?
Yes, I think it belongs to Bob Brown.
Okay.
But that was built over 30 years ago.
So you're on, he's actually on Crow's Nest Drive. Are you
Nautical
on Eight
Dri-
Bells Road?
No, I'm on the corner of Eight Bells and Crow's Nest.
Crow's Nest, Eight Bells, that's it.
And where?
Crow's
I'm right
Nest
on
and
the
8 Bells.
corner lot.
She says she's the house behind.
See that, you heard that, Dawn?
Yeah, yeah, just, I just wanna show you,
Back
quick.
yard.
This is her,
You have a satellite of that?
yeah,
Yeah, I got it right
here.
above you.
Hold on.
So you're not on Eight Bells?
So
She's on the corner, you're on the corner.
Yeah, she's on the corner of 8 Bells and the next block over.
So, but your driveway is on Eight Bells, right?
Correct.
Well,
Okay.
right, so your driveway and your garage would be in this gentleman's backyard, right? Sharon,
That is correct.
right, so we're looking at the satellite here, ma'am, and, his backyard is really facing your driveway and the side of your garage. It's the house next to his that's overlooking your backyard.
Yeah,
That's the other side of the house on my backyard, correct.
well, I don't know.
That's she's the owner of the property that is submitting this proposal to.
Well, we're just looking at the satellite picture here of the,
I know.
of the neighborhood.
Right.
And we're looking at the applicant's property, and we're looking at your property, which is behind his. And your driveway and your garage is basically, shares the property line with his backyard.
That is correct.
Right, but it's the house that's to the right of the applicant's that is really over your backyard.
Yes, I don't sit in that backyard on my deck because I don't have any privacy. So I have to sit on the other side for my privacy.
Which side?
The side where he's proposing. I have a small little deck and I sit in my driveway a lot of times.
So you're sitting in your driveway?
Yes, I sit in my driveway a lot of
Does
times.
the garage block the driveway view?
Excuse
Frank?
me?
Does the garage block the driveway view if she's sitting in the driveway?
Yeah, I sit in the driveway. I have privacy there.
Right.
Well,
And also, as I said, my bedroom, if you see, I have a ramp going up to the bedroom. He'll be able to look into my bedroom, or whoever is there. And I also have a bathroom and a bedroom there.
That's her.
All right, let's hear from any of your other neighbors. Who's up next?
Anyone else?
Please. Just unmute yourself, raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
But you're talking to me, right?
I am.
Yes.
Okay, your name and your address.
Mary Papadopoulos, I'm the mother that, Miss Edwards is speaking about.
No.
I live at 10 Nautical Drive, Riverhead, New York. And I am the house directly behind her deck, where she spends most of her time, not in the driveway, I'm sorry. We don't have a boat that we ever park on that property, we never have. It's out at Port of Egypt, where it belongs. My children are always out there. You know, she claims we're never there, the children are never there. Yes, they are. And as a matter of fact, this son of mine plans to make it his permanent home. He's trying to improve the neighborhood by putting a beautiful home, and I really don't understand why it's an issue, to tell you the truth.
So you plan on making this your main residence?
Her son does.
Your son's gonna make this his main residence?
Yes, he's planning to make it his permanent residence. Yes, he is.
Okay.
He lives in my house right now because he's waiting to build the house next door. He's been there for the last year and a half. Yes, he is.
Okay.
So,
Where does he work?
he works for Dental 365. He's a dentist in Center Reach. In Center Reach. Yes.
Nobody's ever out there on the weekend. Nobody's
We're
ever.
All right,
always
all right,
there.
we're not getting, whoa, slow down right
We're
now.
always there, and
We're
you
not-
know it. I'm
We're not
late
getting
all
into
the
an
time.
argument here.
No, you're not.
It's
What?
irrelevant if he's
Yes,
there or
I
not.
am.
All right, we'll take the other gentleman. You want to,
Was it Emmanuel?
yeah, we'll take Emmanuel. No, no, we haven't.
I think
No, no, no.
he's got office hours till 8 o'clock tonight.
Okay.
Not sure he's on.
Let's
He might
have
be-
the fella on top.
No,
Will
we
you
had him.
unmute yourself?
We had him, the fellow on top.
Mr.
No,
Kelly.
He testified.
He testified.
Guy on the right-hand
Top
side?
right.
Top?
No, the right.
Hello.
Oh, there he is. There's Emmanuel.
Okay.
I stepped away from the patient.
Okay, Emmanuel, just raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir. I swear.
Okay. Your address, please?
4 Nautical Drive is the proposed house.
Okay. Go ahead. Just tell us what you're gonna do.
Oh, I'm looking to knock down the house and build a 2-story house so I can live there permanently.
Okay.
And I'm looking, the proposed house doesn't seem to match houses in the area.
Okay. All right. We got one more
And,
gentleman,
yeah.
we got one more gentleman to hear from,
Upper right hand.
Okay.
upper right-hand side. Okay. Do you unmute yourself, sir?
Yeah, I'm gonna mute myself.
No, not you, the other gentleman.
Top right.
Can you get him?
Yeah, there he is, he's raised his hand.
Sorry. You with us?
Can you speak?
Got it? Yes. Hello?
Okay. Just raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
So help me God. My name is Bob Kelly. I live at 195 8 Bells Road, across the street from where this proposed dwelling is looking to be built. And I'm basically was just looking in to get some information on it in the community, just to make sure it's built properly. I can understand Miss Edwards' point of view. I understand Mary's point of view. I'm just trying to put the pieces together and see what they plan on doing. Not opposed to having a new home built and a nice home built, but I can understand where Susan's coming from, and I understand where Mary's coming from too. It's something that needs to be addressed and looked up and done properly.
So the plans to the house are in the building department, which you could probably go down and take a look. I don't know if Emmanuel has a builder or not. I would assume he does. If you have questions, certainly you could ask them. The only thing we're granting is an area variance, which is the setbacks of the side yards and the lot coverage, because of the size of the lot. I'm not sure if there are any other alternatives to Miss Edwards' concerns. I don't know if you can make the house smaller, would it make her happier? If you move the house forward, would it make her happier? I don't know. I don't know. And because nobody's there has no bearing on approving or not approving this particular project. It's zoned residential. There's no such thing as like summer home residences in the town of Riverhead. It's strictly single-family residences. It doesn't matter if people live there, or they vacation there, or they come once a month, once a year, or never are there. It makes no difference. It's zoned residential property. So as a neighbor, I would be concerned what they're gonna build, but I think it would be a quality home, and you're gonna have somebody there that's in a profession, that's a reputable position in the community. You know, I would want to be a good neighbor to somebody who's building a nice brand-new house and increasing my property value. But Miss Edwards may not have that opinion. So, I'm just bringing up some points. I don't know if they're helpful or not, but that's where we are right now.
So you said you had some specific questions? Sir?
I don't know.
Yeah, did you have any questions
see-
of us?
Me?
No,
No,
upright.
upper right.
No, just on what was gonna be built, and I was listening in. I wanted to hear
Okay.
what was gonna be built and the size of the construction and
So, you're not really objecting, you were just being more curious than anything else, I'm assuming.
right now I'm trying to find information on what's gonna be built.
Okay.
And,
So if you want to further that information, you're welcome to take a look at the building department file.
Right.
You can come down and look at it.
Right.
Or go to your neighbor's house, and I'm sure they'll be only too happy to show you what they plan.
Okay?
All right, so let's give this an adjournment to the next meeting. And let's have the neighbors talk, and we'll take it from there.
So you're gonna hold over the decision?
To the next meeting, yes.
For the next October 8th meeting, we will decide.
A decision will be made October 8th. Okay? All right, who has it?
All right, I move that the appeal of Emmanuel Papadopoulos, 4 Nautical Drive, Riverhead, SCTM number 600-14-1-23-RA4 zoning for variance, et cetera, be adjourned till, was it October 8th, I believe?
Yes.
October 8th.
October 8th.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Whitmire.
Aye.
Mr. Seabrook.
Aye.
Mr. Barnes.
Aye.
Mr. Gazillo.
Aye.
And I vote aye, so see you folks on the 8th. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, have a good night.
Thank you.
Do we hear a motion to accept the minutes of the last meeting?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do I hear a motion to close the meeting?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.